Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel and thank you for joining me. I am talking to myself. Hey, I see this Found Flicks video. I like Found Flicks, the guy. Cool guy. Good elaborations on his videos and stuff. And I fuck with him. I fuck with him. I just wanted to see how fast, what type of movie this is right here. It's VHS Beyond. We ain't gonna watch the whole thing because he's like a Stephen King book. He fucking elaborates a lot and stuff. It's one of them videos you gotta look at where you guys just got time to just like sit back and enjoy it and stuff. But I just want to see if there's a black character in this that don't belong now. Let's watch until he give us the rundown on the characters and stuff. If there is no unnecessary black character, I might watch this later.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Found Flicks. On this Inning Explained, we're looking at the newest in the VHS series, VHS Beyond. This time, 6 blood-curdling tapes unleash horror in a sci-fi inspired hellscape, pushing the boundaries of fear and suspense. It's honestly kind of crazy to think that VHS Beyond is already the 7th entry in the series, and surprisingly, it shows no signs of slowing down. Beyond is overall another strong anthology and doesn't really have any duds. Typically, that's how it goes with anthologies, and sure, some here are stronger than others, but each segment really does its own thing well. And as usual, there's
I hope he didn't say what I thought he was finna say. I'm thinking he's saying, as usual, there's an eclectic group of individuals. I hope he don't say that, because that'll ruin the video. This video be fast as shit. Let's see how many POC black people they got up in this movie. You get me? Because that's all that right there is why I hate movies these days, bro. You get me? You want to throw Lizzo in the fucking Mandalorian and shit? Or whatever shit she was fucking in. I think it was the Mandalorian. I don't know, wherever it was with her and Jack Black and shit. Yeah, I hate that. I really hate that. Okay, if you're gonna do black characters, do real black characters. Okay, and with real black understanding. You get me? And this is what we're waiting for black people to do real black movies. Because y'all just doing whatever the fuck Hollywood tell y'all to do. And you think we don't notice that shit. And most of these actors, not even from America, bitch, you just trying to sell them off because you want everybody to believe that we all black. Bitch, we ain't all getting the reparations. Only people who can get reparations are black. That's how I feel. Let's watch this.
makers behind the segments, like Justin Long and his brother, or Mike Flanagan and Katie Siegel, her making her directorial debut. It's smart to kind of have a theme at play, and the alien/sci-fi aspect helps to kind of unite each piece stylistically. Although not all of them specifically feature aliens, it's more about the possibility of something else out there, which is always intriguing. Do you believe in aliens? Because I sure as shit do. That's why these kinds of stories are always compelling to me. So let's check out VHS Beyond, breaking down each segment and explaining the ending that ties everything together. As a guy removes a lens from a camera in grainy footage, a host discusses the idea of believing in aliens. Both sides, whether skeptic or a believer, nothing will change their mind, calling it an almost religious level kind of belief. We're informed that a Redditor randomly purchased a pair of VHS tapes.
Okay, when it comes to POC characters, these are usually characters that are modern imagined characters. You get me? Like you get a pudgy guy with a beautiful woman type shit. You get what I'm saying? That's POC-ish. You get me? Because we know damn well that's not possible. You get what I'm saying? Now, unless you're playing this nigga that's like a millionaire and she's a gold digger, then you have to make her character that of a gold digger. You get what I'm saying? POC character. You get me? Like a black chick with fucking curly hair or something with a white boy. POC. And she acts like she's fucking like a cool black person, but she's not. She fuck with white boys. I don't know, man. You'll notice it. It's always noticeable. It just looks weird. It feels weird. It's the cringe. This is where the cringe come in. It's like, it just don't sit right with your soul. That's how it feels.
Contain concrete evidence of an alien encounter. The host urges that evidence isn't the same as proof. It's
see, like his haircut, like the way he look. Look at him. Does he not look modern? You get me? He's a modern guy. You get me? You get me? I don't know how much time he got on the show or what he doing. But that's the weird and cringe that feels funny in you, you know.
Proof. Yet the tapes are considered the holy grail for those interested in alien encounters. A man, Jay, received an anonymous email containing digitized footage of the tapes, which this documentary will feature. The tape then statics to the Farrington House, which became a sort of urban legend in Toronto. Groups visited over the years collecting evidence of the gray form. The allure of possibly learning about UFOs always brings out the curious and the crazy. It has a kind of mystique that helps stories to survive over the years. For humans, it's more about the thrill of the hunt rather than actually catching something. The treasure map is out there. He also stresses the impact that actual proof would have, calling everything we know into question.
Hey, you know, this interesting that this movie will be coming out because right now you got a lot of people online talking about how they found aliens in the ocean and shit like that. That shit crazy, right? Keep going.
Body cam. He's part of a special task force known as Warden. It seems that Segura is fresh on the job. Sarge ordering him to keep rolling at all times and also keep your trap shut. Sarge introduces him to the rest of the crew, not exactly the friendliest bunch. Bennett gets a body cam ready for another guy, E.T., and we learn what they're up against. There's more bad news of another baby being kidnapped, a total of 17 in the past 3 months, and all infants. The good news is that someone managed to follow the guy and they now have a location. Tonight's the night to put an end to this once and for all. E.T. gets upset at another missing photo, understanding that it's for his own lost child. The crew knows that he's becoming a problem, and Sarge confronts him, making sure that he's got everything under control. They then pile into a van, E.T.'s leg nervously shaking. Segura tries to offer him some gum, and then learns about his kid. Just mind your own business and keep filming. They arrive at a dilapidated house and see someone outside in a high-vis vest. They can already tell that that is not a regular dude, but the team is not phased. Whatever it is, they definitely gotta kill it. The group approaches the house in formation, but E.T. isn't interested in waiting around and kicks the door down. A zombified lady snarls running down the stairs and gets blasted. The sound alerts more in the house, hearing shuffling above. E.T. runs off and Sarge sends some others to track him down. The house is crawling with the blue-eyed buggers known as brooders. The group fends off more of them and quickly lose E.T. again. Another lady leaps upon them and they clear the whole room. Segura wanders off, coming across a bunch of rotting stuff in a fridge labeled food, along with a counter covered in blood. He gets surprised by the chainsaw-wielding maniac and he flees to another room. There's more brooders after him and he heads upstairs, still hearing the chainsaw. He hides behind some stuff and fumbles to turn off his camera light. He then finds a shrine of some kind featuring a bunch of candles and a bird-like figure made out of sticks with those same blue eyes as the brooders. He hears carnage coming from downstairs. The team's still dealing with the brooders. They put down the chainsaw guy and E.T. goes off, stabbing the absolute hell out of him. The group takes a moment to reload and check on E.T. Luckily, it's not his blood that he's covered in. When looking back at one of the bodies, they realize they all have the same exact bandage on their forehead, the same wound on every single one. As they venture upstairs, they hear the sound of a child crying. E.T. reactively runs off, screaming for his kid. They hold another guy back, Ivy, from following after. If you do what he did, we're all gonna die. They slowly continue forward and hear more noises on the other side of a door. They push through to another room covered in plastic tarps. In the next one, they discover the origin of the problem. There's a hole in the ceiling that a big old meteor fell right through. It's cracked open as though something has crawled out of it. A big dude barrels in, spitting up some black stuff. They're afraid to shoot it, but decide to cap him in the knees. The guy is strangely frozen, and they notice that same bandage. They decide to remove it and get Segura to shove the camera into the hole, learning that they have no brains. Where'd they go? He's called over to put the camera in a hole in the wall, hearing screaming and a baby crying. They know that it's E.T. calling for help, and he shouts back that they are coming to get him. Then they hear someone raspily singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Segura turns on the light, seeing a creepy dude staring back down at them. They know they need to get up to that block 3rd floor, and then have an idea. The chainsaw. That'll do it. Albert retrieves it.
Okay, I know we saw that black guy, but it's cool because he like an extra or something, so that's cool. PLCs usually have roles that's like not important at all, but they stay in the movie through the whole fucking movie. Like it's a black girl or something, she just there. She don't even have no lines or some shit like that. That pisses me the fuck off. That is a PLC movie. You get me? I can't stand movies like that. Like, why are you here? Why are you fucking here? What? Say something. Say something. Again, but they don't. They just there for moral support. That means that they added jumping jazz. You get me? And that's what I don't like. That's almost done because it's starting to look good. So I'm gonna give it a few more seconds to see if some black woman pop out. That's the girlfriend or somebody. Let's see.
Resurrected. He unleashes the chainsaw upon them, hacking the lot of them once more. He rushes upstairs and hands the saw off to Ivy, knowing they're going to be dead soon if they don't get through that door. He saws his way through, and everyone slinks through the hole one by one. They come to a hallway with lights and children's toys lining the ground. The guy seen in the walls is there, cradling a baby with a burlap sack covering its head. They notice another staircase headed up, overgrown with greenery. The group stomps up to the attic, finding several cribs there. Most are empty until Segura finds a baby stirring under a blanket. He pulls it back, revealing the baby has a beak. There's Raspy whimpering her deeper in the room, and a giant stork-like creature is seen sucking E.T.'s brains out. It then vomits them up, feeding them to one of the babies. Well, now we get the deal here. This weird stork dude is actually an alien, and is taking babies to mutate them into its own children. The people that do show up get their brains sucked out and then fed to the kids, also turning them into mindless members of the stork's army. Sarge growls to light this fucker up, and they unleash a barrage of bullets, the big bird taking it all in stride. A now brutified E.T. attacks Segura. The stork slices him in the stomach, and he drops the camera. E.T. turns to Ivy, and they have no choice but to take him down. The stork appears defeated, and Segura groans, "This is what it's like." Sarge encourages, he's not gonna die here. "No," he says, "this is what it's like being with you guys, hunting monsters." Understanding that Warden has been dealing with similar cases for quite some time. Something like that, Sarge agrees and welcomes him to Warden. They get him to his feet and consider what to tell the families. They conclude it's probably best not to tell them the truth, lingering on the stork's head. A crib starts swaying and a baby coos. The stork roars back to life and someone stomps his head into oblivion. The threat finally dealt with, the group take a celebratory photo with his corpse afterwards. Just another day for the Warden group, apparently. The interlude continues, filling in on the history of the family. Back in the 50s, they moved to Toronto from Hong Kong. They did well in business and purchased a sprawling house built in the late Victorian era. The mother and father died back in the 80s, leaving the home to their eldest son. He decided to sell the house in the 90s, and while staying there complained of night terrors and not sleeping well. Once the house was sold, the son disappeared soon after. He believed the house was haunted by some kind of mysterious visitors, which he never referred to specifically as aliens. The host goes on to describe how people's definitions of these kind of encounters change over the years. Way back in the Victorian era, people might call these kind of unknown beings poltergeists or ghosts, while in the 50s they might have said Martian. Each generation has its own language and reference point for their reported encounters. All the son wanted to do was prove his sanity by recording evidence of the strange happenings. As far as calling his actual tapes definitive evidence, when it comes to proof, it can only be considered true once there are more arguments for it than against it. We are next introduced to a pair of desperate paparazzos, Arnab and Sonu. They chase down a celeb, barraging her with questions about a recent breakup. She stays silent and hops in the car. "Just one smile," they beg as she drives away. Arnab trips and lands right on a shard of glass. He carefully removes it, Sonu telling him he needs to get to a hospital. He smiles that he doesn't have time to bleed, but his buddy doesn't get the reference to his disappointment. They hope they at least caught her little wave, but the footage was blurry, leaving them wondering what the point of all their blood, sweat, and tears was anyway. There's fresh hope. In another lead, a connection of Arnab's has gotten them access to a film set starring the biggest star around, Tara. It is quite a trek for the boys to make it to Film City, rushing through the bustling city streets, and then hopping on a ferry, the effort showing us how big of a deal this is. They finally make it to set, and Arnab instructs him on what to do. Sono is curious about some rumors regarding Tara, that she's into witchcraft and things of the like. His colleague calls this bull, but he points out that her quite meteoric rise to stardom is strange. How could she possibly deal with all that pressure? This strikes a nerve with Arnab. It's people like us that are under pressure. And as he complains about Tara, understand that he once had his own dreams of being an actor. Clearly he didn't make it, and it's understandably bitter. "Dream girl, my ass," he seethes. They meet up with their contact, who guides them to set to check out a take. They roll on a quite elaborate Bollywood-style musical featuring Tara. When listening to the lyrics, they seem to hint at something more sinister regarding her. "I am a goddess, super fiery and untamed. This is my kingdom, I'm the queen." You're kind of like, seems a little pointed there. They call cut, and everyone stops, except for Tara, who keeps strangely going along with the choreography. Her manager...
Okay, this seems safe to watch. I have exercised the POCs from the video. This house is now clean. Feel free to enjoy the rest of it on your own, as I will probably do myself. Anyway, bye.